Yo, what it do, good people? Welcome back to the Diagnosis. I am your host, Keith Daniel. Hope everybody has been safe, productive, and blessed since the last time we linked up. You know what I mean? Fantastic show lined up for you today, man. We going back into a Roy Hayes video. We got to diagnose this stuff, man. You know what I mean? Education is one of the reasons why our culture finds ourselves in the position that we are in. So it's very important to go into these videos, get these inner meanings, and understand exactly what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna hear a little bit of feedback. I ain't gonna say feedback, but like some distortion in my video. I'm back in the man cave. Of course, it's a tin shed, and we getting a little bit rain down here in the great state of Alabama. So y'all just bear with me. You feel me? I'm just trying to stay consistent and keep things coming out, man. So in the meantime, before we crank up, we need to make sure the energy is at the level we need it at. Frequencies are high, vibrations are high. So we're going to get into a little bit of music. Once we finish up with the music, I'll see you on the flip side. Stay tuned.
This is a Struggle Man exclusive. Shout out to all the mamas and the mamas' and the baby mamas too. Let me tell y'all what it's about. You need a place to stay, sleep on the couch. But this is Big Mama house. You look hungry, put some food in your mouth. And if you violate, we kicking you out. But this is Big Mama house. And when she leave the house, she gon' tell you she won't leave the same way she left it. Big Mama house. And if it ain't in order when she get back, then everybody getting dealt with. Big Mama house. I wanna thank you for bringing me in, mama. Look what you did, mama. Shout out to Big Mama. I wanna say I'm really sorry for the kid drama. The kids grow up to be goats, now I'm Big Mama. We went astray, Kill Bill didn't kill Amma. She came back for a kid, so we feel calmer. And show compassion for the ones that still honor. Black Madonna, the one and only Big Mama. Think about your Big Mama when you messing up. She gon' take you child, you know better. Give thanks to your Big Mama, give it up to your elders and your ancestors. Think about your Big Mama when you messing up. She gon' take you child, you know better. Give thanks to your Big Mama, give it up to your elders and your ancestors. My Big Mama name is Lenore, that means light. My mama name is Marilyn, that means she gon' fight. And my name is Keith, the meaning of that is earth. You like, I can't fight, I guess for what it's worth. No guessing, that's what it is. My middle name's Darnell, that means the hidden place. My last name Daniel. Daniel, that means God is my judge, so I shall pass no judgment on no one but myself. So I'm a earth-born God from the order of life. The hidden one who gon' come when judgment is nigh. Or near, the war is won, there's nothing to fear. You being lied to, folk, things ain't what they appear. But let me go, let me hang up this phone. I gotta get the house in order, cause my Big Mama home. I said I gotta go, dog, let me hang up the phone. I gotta get my house in order, cause my Big Mama home. Struggle. Let me tell y'all what it's about. You need a place to stay, sleep on the couch. But this is Big Mama house. You look hungry, put some food in your mouth. And if you violate, we kicking you out. But this is Big Mama house. And when she leave the house, she gon' tell you she won't leave the same way she left it. Big Mama house. And if it ain't in order when she get back, then everybody getting dealt with. Big Mama house. Think about your Big Mama when you messing up. She gon' take you child, you know better. Give thanks to your Big Mama, give it up to your elders and your ancestors. Think about your Big Mama when you messing up. She gon' take you child, you know better. Give thanks to your Big Mama, give it up to your elders and your ancestors.
Yeah. Shouts out to all my mama boys out there. You know who you are. Yeah. Shouts out to all the mamas, and the baby mamas too. Yo, we here now, y'all. We here now. What a time to be alive. Only thing we gotta do now is play catch up, y'all. Only thing we gotta do now is get ourselves up to the frequency we need to get up to. We need to vibrate. We need to remember. Yeah. You just need to remember, y'all. That's it. That's all we got to do. Remember. Remember who you are. You was who you was before you got here. You feel me? Now, with that being said, man, let's go on and get into this video. We got the sick ape himself, Chief Pontiac, Rod Hayes. Let's see what he's talking about on this powerful and informative message. They're right.
It's an 8 o'clock public service announcement, bringing the people's attention to key issues that we dealing with on the land. So I got a call. I'm gonna give people a chance to get in before I start to go in. So I've been on hiatus because Big Mama and the elders told me to sit down and allow for each one of the tribal members that's doing specific work the opportunity to get caught up, because we was too far ahead and it was causing a rift in the up and coming chiefs that's developing. So the elder chiefs had to get out the way. So that's where I've been, getting out the way to let the younger chiefs put in their work and continue waking our people up to the fact that they tried to lie to us about our identity, but we know who we are. And a lot of the youth is just now catching up, and they learn better from people closer to their age bracket. So the ones who've been getting the information, making their little TikTok videos and doing a Instagram shorts and YouTube shorts, delivering key bites of information, they turn to make the unified front in order for us to push the invaders back to the point where everything spills over into the open. Because the whole goal is to use the reparations distraction, to use the terminologies of exonyms that describe who we are, to divide the people up from the land, and they rely heavily on a collection of isms. That's racism, Christism, Mohammedism, spookism, and all those other dogmatic, misleading, divide and conquer tactics implemented. But we not gonna fall for it. It's gonna be a lot of people not gonna be here, because when this grid finish shifting, if the mitochondrial doesn't sync, and a lot of them you seeing it as a sudden adult death syndrome, and a lot of it is being attributed to the jab. Now, all this is being played out as a stage show. So Haiti got sidetracked because they cheated, but that's another story. The fix was in to try to prevent Haiti from having a cause for celebration. It don't matter. They still gonna have a celebration for something. It's gonna be some excuse is gonna come up. So the message that came with that is that there was so the symbolism of the World Cup is the cup of the sacrifice of the saints. Haiti is last. So before when it start to roll out, Haiti gotta be first. So whatever obstacle was ran into, they cheated them out the World Cup, meaning that they made a move again to try to usurp us by derailing a chain of events that shows them who we are. Had they not cheated, it would have been unmistakable to the people that we know what we talking about. So when the fix was in, they changed the books to rewrite the script to throw the youth off the trail of where the elders told them to look.
Now, when he's speaking on Haiti, he's speaking on, he said they last. And in the book, you know that the book states that the last shall finish first and the first shall finish last. And only thing we got to do is look at the condition that Haiti's in, and we understand that Haiti is last. You feel what I'm saying? Shouts out to all my Haitian brothers out there. Salute to y'all. You know what I mean? We already know what time it is. You feel what I'm saying? Like I got Toussaint Lavator. Well, I got him in my family tree, if you will. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't no coincidence that I'm doing this. But I just want to give a shout out to my Haiti brothers out there, and for them to, continue to do what they do. Because you got to understand, Haiti is very, very significant. Like, Haiti is like one of the only places on this planet that the colonizers wasn't able to colonize. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why they last. It's everything's by design. You feel what I'm talking about? Straight up.
So, they still gonna find a reason. I had talked to the sister Bayeno Bello, and she was telling me the problem in Haiti right now is that the wealthy is hoarders and the poor are the generous. So the rift comes in is when we shut this shit down, if the wealthy don't want to share the resources with the paupers, then the paupers are gonna be forced by the laws of nature to go get that shit and pass it out. The civil war is what it looks like, but it's not civil war. It's the same as when the police come and get your car when the airs break down to continue a pursuit. It's called commandeering the resources. First, they gonna try to give those in Haiti in the upper middle class with the resources the opportunity to take care of a family or several families on the resources rather than hoard them. Because hoarding them is gonna make the people automatically, when the psyche flip, right? If you hoarding, you vibrating at a frequency that's gonna attract the wrath of the righteous. There's nothing you can do about it because the mitochondrial shift is gonna make the people join forces to cleanse the land. And you gonna see it the more they try to offset the chain of events, the more it causes the energy to be backed up in certain areas. The energy needs to flow, right? So, from Haiti and Sister Bayeno Bello, since our conversation, I have received a call from Chief Warhorse and one of the other elder chiefs from further out west. And they wanted me to tell y'all the influencers that the establishment is using that haven't seen her receipts need to come see the receipts with their own eyes. The reason being is we can continue to follow the divide and conquer narrative and the ignorance of not knowing who we is. Or the other alternative is that we can unify by clearing up the misconceptions by presenting these people, key people, with the receipts to show them how they tried to usurp us, undermine us in order to steal the land. But because we have a blood tie to the land that they trying to disassociate us from with the miseducation of the Negro.
Now listen, he said we got a blood tie to the land, right? I'm gonna break this down to you as far as the blood tie to the land. And I'm gonna give you one example. A very important example. If you remember in history class, probably U.S. history, you know, what's that, 7th, 8th grade, somewhere up in there, we learned about the Revolutionary War, right? And we learned that, you know, we were trying to come from up under the rule of the king at that time, which was King George, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Now, it's funny that we had a King George to start this thing, and then to finish this thing, we had a King George Bush. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of people don't know that part, you know what I mean? However, we did. But at the time of the Revolutionary War, when the Revolutionary War popped off, understand this. The first blood that was shed in the Revolutionary War was the blood of Crispus Attucks. Now, who is Crispus Attucks? A black man. So now, no matter how his blood was shed, he could have been on the front line. He could have been toting the flag like Denzel was toting the flag in Glory. Hell, he could have been on the front line, and he probably got scared and ran. And they pushed him back to the front. That's how he got shot. We don't know how he got shot, but the books say, because again, they got to tell us what the deal is. They ain't got to, you know, deception is part of the game. You feel what I'm saying? Because we choose to be deceived. It's all free will. So deception is legal in this game, the game of the gods. You see what I'm saying? However, regardless of what the situation was, the blood of an aboriginal, indigenous, earthborn, black, African American, whatever term you want to use to describe us, that blood was shed first in this effort of what we label as freedom. You follow what I'm saying? So therefore, regardless of how you look at it, now, me personally, I know it go a whole lot deeper when we talk about this blood right. But I just want to give you an example. If that ain't a blood right, being the first, like these folks over here, they came over here later. We was already over here. But for us to be the first to shed blood for this land that some call Turtle Island, some call the United States of America, some call the land of Tahuti, for us to be the first to shed blood, that should be evidence enough. But I digress. Let's continue.
Carter G. Woodson, understanding of training the Negro to stay in the Negro's place. But this is Dale Jones, war correspondent's Mumia, a Mumia radio announcement from the pits of the war. So right now, we need to try to persuade Roland Martin, who's been pushing this African-American thing, to go to Chief Warhorse for the receipts. Because this is in the public domain now, this is the side effect. Because I told y'all, if Chief Warhorse call for them and they don't show up, it's going to be consequences. You think that this damn devil was canceling people? You're going to either work with the tribes on the land, from the land, or you're not going to be able to do business anywhere, under any conditions, anywhere on the land. the presenting to them the receipts that proves who we are and shows where all of the dirt was done at. See, Chief Warhorse have these receipts. And she said that a guy like Roland Martin apparently haven't seen the receipts. It's a couple more of them that need to go see her and look at the usurp invasion that we up against, that we are actually clearing off the land. But the ones who are in a position of influence over the people from the land, because some of the people haven't heard Chief Warhorse. Like Roland Martin, apparently he's a Mason, probably Prince Hall. He appears to be pretty high ranked, probably, Master Mason. So if he understand who Hiram is and that Hiram is raised, he'd get his ass down there, see Chief Warhorse. But we have to make him aware that he got a responsibility to his constituents to go look at the receipts with his own eyes. And he can tell y'all about them on Cooking with the Chief, right? The reason why she asked me to do it is because the people that understand what I be saying and know what's going on and know that this is a power shift will make sure he get the message. And some of her people doing the same thing. Something going on. It's Ice Cube. So I'm gonna go to Ice Cube in a few minutes. So right now, Roland Martin, the African American, the unapologetically African Umar Johnson, apparently he don't know who he is, need to go talk to Chief Warhorse. So all due respect, you gotta respect the elders of the land or you won't do business on the land. This is the rule. She giving them an opportunity. She's welcoming them to come look at the receipts, go look at the laws, the bills presented, all of these things. She was instrumental in the struggle under the civil rights to make sure that when they tried this move to take us from being the organic tribe, she can tell them she been fighting the whole time knowing who she was. That's why she had to come from the angle she came from.
I've been over to Cooking with the Chief Warhorse channel. She really does have the receipts. And what I got from Chief Warhorse is it's on all of us to do our work as far as finding these receipts through our family lineage. Like I've said many times on many different videos, like I have no receipts of us coming over, my family, coming over here on the boat. My elders, you know what I mean? Like my oldest matriarch on my, grandfather's side, his sister, she don't have any receipts of that. My mother didn't have any receipts of that. Her mother didn't have any receipts of that. And my great-grandmother, Elizabeth Miles, she didn't have any receipts of any of that. Like, we come from Alabama. It is what it is. Like, we didn't come over here on the boat. And it's imperative that everybody do their own homework. Like, looking at these videos, that's one thing. But you need to be reaching out to your family so you can really understand, like, who you are. You see what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here saying that ain't nobody come over here on the boat. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's evident somebody came over here on boats. If that's what you want to call, let's call them ships. Let's call them ships, because it might have not been a boat. Hell, we don't know. I mean, we're listening to his story, which is what we call history. You see what I'm saying? But you have to do your own due diligence. You feel me? Like I know what the burial site for my ancestors is. It's in Cottington, Alabama. You see what I'm saying? Like, for real. Now, on the other side of the family, man, we stretch all the way out from here all the way to the Midwest. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we everywhere on my other side. And it's funny that, you know, I got a big presence in the Midwest because, again, that shows evidence for the migration from this area, which, you know, the Southeast, where we originate from, going along the Trail of Tears. That's how they end up in the Midwest. But it's on you to do your own research. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to put your own work in. Everybody want folks to do the work for them. No, you got to do your own work to be able to prove these things. Also, while I'm speaking, you know, with characters like Umar, you know, Roland Martin, I agree with Rod. Like, these guys have to do their homework and not go with this narrative of the Pan-Africanism. I ain't knocking it. You see what I'm saying? However, you can't bunch all of us up in one bucket and say that that's where we came from. Like, everybody know that man came from Africa. Everybody know that the black people is the original man. You see what I'm saying? And everything else came after that. Like, that's scientific proof. That's fact. You see what I'm saying? However, we were all across this plane, man. We just wasn't there. We were everywhere. And see, the biggest farce that we are dealing with right now is not knowing who we are in this land. See, once we can understand that and know that, man, I guarantee you we'll get a whole lot farther than where we at right now. But no, we don't want to do that. We focused on the BET Awards and looking at damn, whatever damn name is, that ski weed shit and that nonsense. Like, we caught up on some nonsense, but we got to shake off that damn hangover. That's what we at right now. We got a hangover, and we need to take some hangover medication, drink us some plenty of water, and get back to business. Point blank, period. And those who have the influence don't need to do a disservice to the people by following a fucking agenda. Just my 2 cents. Let me digress.
She got all the receipts. So we want the foundational Black Americans, Tariq Nasheed, to come in and explain to her who the fuck is a foundational Black American. Because if you don't know who the black is that was declared dead at sea, then you don't know who we is. Civilly mortis. But we 5/5 realized now. God body, God mind, walking around in man form. That's what we doing. So when the people make it known, if you want to continue to do business in this place that they currently call in America, you need to go talk to the elders to make sure you understand whether you being deceived or not. We don't have a problem per se with the people of Africa, and they don't got no problem with us. But the media divide and conquer machine want us to profess to be from somewhere other than we from in order to pretend like they don't have to give us our shit back. That's not going to happen. But we don't want nobody to be neglected if they sincere. Everybody haven't seen the receipts And they need to go talk to Chief Warhorse and see the receipts so that you can know we was already here. This all started in 1492 invasion. This is a 500-year protracted struggle, an ongoing war that's taken many facets over the years. But the voodoo part is why I'm here, because I had to make these people undo these spells. And the key spell was the amnesia spell of Kingu, the spell of sleep. That's some dirty shit, but they had to level the playing field, right? So I come up with the same.
The Kingu spell that he's talking about is out of the Epic of Gilgamesh. If you read the Epic of Gilgamesh, or if you can listen to it audio-wise, you'll understand where he's coming from when he's talking about that. Because Kingu had to be put to sleep in order to be defeated. Kingu was just as strong or just as fierce as Gilgamesh. Now, Gilgamesh was part god, part man. He was a demigod. You see what I'm saying? And Kingu was his right-hand man. But he had to fight Kingu first before they got tight. You see what I'm saying? And the spell of sleep is basically us falling asleep and forgetting who the fuck we are. Forgetting how bad we are, man. We the X-Men. You see what I'm saying? But when you forget that, you don't know who you is. It's like having amnesia. You see what I'm saying? And then they replace what we actually use as far as our way of learning, our spirituality, the whole shebang. They usurped it, replaced it with something that they can use, tools that they can use to fucking control us. You see what I'm saying? We fell asleep. Wake up. My people suffer from a lack of knowledge.
Amnesia as everybody else, but the funny part about it is I can't not know who I am, because I am who I am. I know who I am, always have, but I didn't understand how you people perceived who I am as I am. So now that all of the chiefs know who's where, because we got a whole bunch of chiefs about to come out and speak to the public. They got to come speak because the people demanded an explanation from the elders of the land. Where is my shit? Right? So the public service that we need to do is urge Roland Martin to go spend some time with Chief Warhorse in order for him to find out the truth of what's taking place on the land, and to know that if you're going to be over here, you're either going to be with us or against us. And if you're against us, you're going to get treated like the enemy. But if you're with us and your heart's sincere, we're going to embrace you and we're going to continue to move forward with progress, without distinction, without, as my mama say, being respect as a person. No big I's, no little U's, as it is in my growth and development literature. Everybody got the same opportunity as one of the clans on the land to participate in the recovery of the land. Everybody. All we had to do now was say enough is enough, by making these people answer to us instead of bowing down and answering to them when they on our shit. They in our house, right? So if they misleading our leadership, what's that gonna do to the people, right? And they don't want me to go ham on nobody, cussing folks out, because she made it clear that she didn't want me to do that. She wanted me to let them know the truth is the truth. And we here recovering the land from the invasion of the foreigners, and they use the confusion of identity as part of the reinforcement of the amnesia. We know who he is now. It's not working no more. So, wherever y'all see him at on the platform, respectfully ask him to go look at the receipts. Chief Warhorse got the whole Trail of Tears minutes, the logs. They tell you when they switched us out, who went to the reservations, who got kicked out and reclassified on paper. She have all of the paperwork. And if you don't understand that, that'll confuse you. So we just want them to look at the receipt.
See, speaking on, she got all the paperwork as far as who went well, who got kicked out and got reclassified. What does he mean by that? What he means is that when you look at what they claim Indians are, and that whole term Indian was it comes from trying to call this place India because that's what Columbus was so called. He thought he was in India. That's where they were supposed to go for a trade route. To me, I'm calling bullshit on it. I think they knew where they were trying to get to. Point blank period. It wasn't about no trade route. They knew we was over here. They knew that this was the land of milk and honey. And they wanted to get over here. He couldn't get here, so he had to get Pedro del Negro or Moor of the time. And the Moors were seafaring people because they could read the stars. And they navigated their way over here. Point blank period. Now that's where that term Indian come from because he thought he was in India. Come on, man. Really? But anyway, getting replaced and reclassified, they was dumping our people off in areas and reclassifying us as Negro or whatever the fuck term they used back then. They were reclassifying us as that and wasn't calling us indigenous people to this land, which we were. See, we got whooped out of the land. Like, that's what we call it D-Day, whoop. When somebody whoop you, well, you got whooped. You got beat. They beat us. They pencil whooped us out this shit, man. And did every other thing egregiously known to man that they can do. And been doing it. So now here we are, we're stuck in a fucking system that ain't made for us, ain't really benefiting us no kind of way. Because we don't know no better. Because we don't want to know. You see what I'm saying? But now the gig's up because we got enough of us here, enough of us chiefs here on the land that we understand that, bro, something ain't right. And now we start doing certain, you know, just by nature of being who we are. Because I am that I am. I'm a studier. I'm a knower. I want to know. I'm a teacher. I'm a leader. I want the truth. You see what I'm saying? So in all of that, now you start digging. And now you start understanding what happened. You see what I'm saying? I'm not Rod. But we on the same team. We both know the work got to be done. Ain't no need in sitting back twiddling your thumbs. See, the problem is a lot of us are waiting on somebody else to do it. And then the other problem is some of us don't want to give up the materialistic bullshit that come with selling your people some bullshit. So you get paid good. That's the thing. Like Roland Martin might be getting paid a damn pretty good penny to continue to do what he do. And he don't want to piss off the wrong people. So that's how you got to also look at that situation with people like that as well. You feel what I'm saying? You got a lot of them out there like that. They know what's up, but they don't want to piss off the wrong people. Look at Kyrie. Kyrie was he was telling you something, but he pissed off the wrong people. He shut his goddamn mouth. Because he liked the lifestyle that he got. And you can't knock that. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's important for people like, regular people like myself, that's out here in the everyday world, the real world, not the celebrity world. It ain't nothing but a small percentage of people that live in that world. I'm talking about the world that everybody else lives in. It's important for us to get out here and be concerned people, citizens of this planet, not just of your country. Yeah, respect your country. Respect the laws in there. Because if we ain't got order, we ain't got shit. You see what I'm saying? However, it ain't nothing but one race when it really boils down to it. It's the human race. Everybody built the same, cuz. Arm, leg, arm, head. Everybody, arm, leg, arm, head might not work the same in the same capacity, but we all take the same form. And we all have to do the same things in order to survive. But let me digress. Let Roy have it.
If you still think you African American after that, the remedy is this. Just step aside while the organic clans claim they shit. And we gonna find out where you belong in Africa in case you want to go back home. But while these organic motherfuckers over here, the chiefs of the land, is calling Big Mama to get the final instructions to switch this shit over to us. Right? While we doing our work, the ones out there in front of our people, like Roland Martin, may not have the opportunity to be presented with the receipts. So they need to go where the receipts are at and do their due diligence on the land. Now, I want to treat everybody like the enemy that's using the misinformation. The black shit. If you don't know that what the black is, Black Panthers, the Black Gorilla Family, the Black Eagle Clan, the Black Hawk Clan, the Black Buffalo Clan, the Black Bear Clan. If you don't know what the fuck them is, then stop saying you black. Because we the ones that they said was dead because we the ones had to fight these motherfuckers. The rest of you motherfuckers is just in the way.
Big facts. That black, just think about it now. That color black, when you're talking about black, that's the color that warriors wear. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's black. Like, that's in the trenches with it. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you going to do dirt, what color you put on? You put on all black. What one shoe out here we make a joke about when we see somebody wearing them and say they on some gutter shit? The all black Air Force One. A ninja. When he coming for you, what is he typically depicted in? A black suit. Or with the black, the mask that like this. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Where Batman suit is? In all black. You see what I'm saying? Black Adam. He was in all black. Like, that's just what it is. But see, we take this term black and we classify it to us, and in all reality, like, we're not black. Black has nothing to do with skin color. White has nothing to do with skin color. Only in America do we classify each other as black and white. And we misclassify each other 9 times out of 10 because what we're basing it off of is skin color and not what side of the fence you on.
So when they telling y'all the wrong information, we trying to get the right information to the people. And this African American thing is not going to cut it any longer. Kwanzaa is not an African holiday. Ryan Karinga made Kwanzaa up. Do the study on his ratchet ass. Right? So we embrace Kwanzaa because even though the guy that came up with it was a piece of crap, he was one of us. He was our piece of crap. We didn't expect him to be squeaky clean because we knew he was a piece of shit when he wrote Kwanzaa. That's why we accepted him, because we already knew what he was. He was a slime ball doing the best he can to exploit the people by gathering up a few facts of ours and giving them back to us. Dr. Clark And Dr. Bean told y'all he was a piece of shit and had no respect for the ancestors. Right? But ain't nobody getting out of here without paying for their dirt. That's the realest shit.
That's some real shit, boy. You ain't getting out of here without paying for that dirt, man. That's one of my sayings right now for me personally. Not saying that you ain't gonna get out of here. That ain't the phrase. What my saying is I done did enough dirt in my lifetime. So now I'm trying to spend what time I got left trying to clean some shit up. You see what I'm saying? Like straight up. And I think that everybody needs to do that. Like that's why I'm happy that I'm a janitor. You see what I'm saying? Because it teaches me that. Like now I got to clean up behind I put my fair share of shit out here. You see what I'm saying? I'm not no saint. Like I'm one of them that he used in showing the person that, look, I can take water and make it wine. I can take vinegar and make it sweet. You see what I'm saying? Like that's just what I was in life. I'm just keeping it a buck. I was a fucking terrorist out here, man. Like shit. On some real shit. Like, but on some low key shit, I was always smart. But man, that wasn't cool. That wasn't what was up. I was part of the problem. You see what I'm saying? Until I realized that I was part of the problem, which I had to go through some. I had to go through some things. I almost, lost everything behind me making dumb decisions based off of ego. See what I'm saying? But let me digress, because I can sidebar and I can go all the way into a whole different topic. Well, that's a whole show for you by itself.
So the same way that they laughed at us when we was down, we laughing at their ass as we stand back up. It's not personal, though we could take it personal. It's just family business. You're not going to come over here. We got all of these clans coming to here to ask the big chief why Big Mama not in charge of Big Mama shit. I got to answer that shit. They look like us, but they ain't us. They tricked Big Mama. Some of them married her and then gave their shit to some motherfuckers that didn't have anything to do with us. They made agreements as if they was us with motherfuckers that they put in to replace us to make it look like we signed all of these treaties. They brought them motherfuckers with them that signed them treaties. That was those people that they kept hostage. You got to know who they was warring with for the whole time they was over there. This is why you have to know military history. You have to know world history from both sides of the water. The history of the world, according to Oxford University, does not read the same as history of the world according to Yale or Duke. Right? It's a whole different history.
Those are facts. That's why those schools are so expensive and it's hard to get into. Because the curriculum that you're learning now, you ain't learning nowhere else. I'm not a student of Yale, no nothing. But if I'm just using my common sense tells me that they're getting something else that the average student, no matter what school you go to, ain't getting. Because of the prestige, how much money it costs, and what it means to go to these schools. It got to be something behind it. There has to be some substance behind it. And that's the way I'm looking at it. Like, I think that you go to them schools, you really understand the law to a degree of mass manipulation. You see what I'm saying? Like, straight up. And not saying that if you go to these schools that you're bad or anything like that, but I just think you're going to get a different approach to what's really going on in the world and how or the ways that you maintain a certain level of control when it comes to the masses, because that's their doctrine. That's their doctrine. You see what I'm saying? So if you go to those schools, you're going to be taught that, and basically being taught that at that point, they're only going to accept certain people based off of a certain person's character, and it's just like, you either go with it or you don't. You see what I'm saying? But that's why these people end up being the people that they are, because they're put in the position to be able to make this system operate. See what I'm saying? Like me personally, the system, it works to a degree, but it's certain things that is detrimental for our existence. So I think some of it just need to be overhauled. Maybe the whole thing need to be overhauled. I don't know. I mean, my opinion is the structure that we got is cool, but we just need the right people in the right place. But you can't make a well-informed decision if you ain't informed. And I think that's what Rod is doing right now. That's why I'm sitting here diagnosing right now. You can't make an informed decision unless you are truly informed. You feel me? It's only fair. Playing field been level. You see what I'm saying? Power shift. Paradigm shift. And it is what it is. We just have to be smart about what we're doing at this present moment. Excuse me. You can't be thinking about the past. You can't hold on to that. Don't forget now. I ain't telling you to forget. Because if you forget, you bound to repeat what you forgot. But we have to be in the now. And the quicker that as a culture we get it and we start coming together, then we can come together with the world. But we got to heal first. And the first step in healing is identifying that you got a problem. And then after you identify that you got a problem, the next step is identifying what that problem or those problems are. That's where we at right now. Understanding like, this is where it at. But see, what Rod talking about, we at end game. But the thing is, like, what we gonna do then? You see what I'm saying? If we're not educated to what's really going on and we're not trying to fix ourselves at the same time while we're trying to fix the world, like, we're gonna find ourselves back in a bad position because we don't have the education to stop it. That's a tangent. I'm sorry. I went on a rant, but
History of the world. Georgetown, History of the World from Georgetown University doesn't read like the one from Oxford University or Notre Dame University. Right? And this is how this is where you get your understanding that the world history being written by the victors is going to make the people least resistant to the power that pretend to be, but they ain't the real power. We are. Right? So you see Ice Cube going around doing a campaign, but he ain't calling the gatekeepers by name. That's fishy to me. Cube, what you doing, buddy? You ain't gonna just keep saying gatekeeper. Call Jimmy Iovine motherfucking name. Call Oprah by her motherfucking name. Call Clive Davis by his motherfucking name. You ain't gotta duck from them motherfuckers. Say they motherfucking name. We finna take this shit back.
Cube like that check. Shit. Cube doing enough by saying gatekeeper. Cube like, well, I can't just call him out like that. Cause again, like, bro, when you live in a certain type of lifestyle, you live in a certain type of lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? And like, bro, just some people. I ain't saying that this is what Cube's situation is, but it don't take a rocket science to figure this shit out. Like, it's just certain things that we just don't really want to do because it gonna affect us in the material. Yeah, it might be the spiritually right thing to do. Yeah, this timing's now, boom. But we still human. You know what I'm saying? Like, the human factor gonna kick in. And you're gonna be like, damn, am I ready to risk it all now? That's a question everybody gotta ask themselves. Are you really ready? Are you really ready to just risk it all and just go all the way out there? See, it happens at different times for different people. But my whole thing is, at least they risk something. You see what I'm saying? At least they just ain't lay all the way down. Because when you anytime you in that celebrity spotlight shit and you dealing on that side of the fence, like you agreed to be over there. So it's certain rules you're going to have to play by because you over there. The rules don't apply to us over here like it do for them because you agreed to be over there. You wanted to walk on the dark side. There you have it, Jack. There's some cutthroat shit over there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get it. But at least they, see the light and trying to share it a little bit. You see what I'm saying? Over here on this side, shit, we signed up for the light. We Luke Skywalkers. We Jedis. You see what I'm saying? Like, but I digress.
Next motherfucking time, Q, tell him Easy told you to say all them bitches' names. Tell him how in the early days, you ain't even know that the Jewish Defense League owned Jerry Heller. Y'all ain't even know that. That's why they was leaning on Easy with them thugs. That's what made Tukey send them towers to him for security. Right? We know what's up. So he got to get Crip security. You had to go with the FOI for security. It's nothing personal. It's just a family looking out for family. It is what it is. Shit is over with. All of them motherfucking, as a young elder call them, what he call them, killer clowns, they all done. We cried then. It's our turn to smile in the sun. Trump done already announced the party. We know that's going down. They done already announced the dead celebrity concert on the 11th of November. So we already know somebody finna be revealed. We know something big finna happen. They already said that all of the banks is ready for this new currency switch and that it was going to somehow benefit all of the people. Remember, I told y'all, the national debt becomes the national debit. Everything they stole from y'all, that shit got to be reversed. That's called a turnaround. See this? Silver certificate, $5 bill. My little brother was showing it to me today, and I wanted to show y'all. Before they had Federal Reserve notes, this is a 1934 silver certificate $5 bill. This used to be $5 worth of silver, literally. And then they tricked us. They tricked our elders, the ancestors who didn't know no better, because none of them didn't understand the mechanics of fractional reserve banking and the inflated debt scenario. By inflating the debt, you can increase the amount that you are allowed to borrow. But who in the fuck is you borrowing money from? Then you find out that somebody overseas hold the purse strings, World Bank, International Monetary Fund. So all of the money they collecting in taxes is being sent in batch rolls to the World Bank and International Monetary Funds as payment on a debt. But the debt ain't going nowhere. So it got to be a secondary debt somewhere. Something that they paying on that they keeping a secret. right? Those are what they call international exchange instruments that they keep in a secret, right? That's what they really trying to trade in. This is what you call a FC number in the courts, a federal count number. And the batch rolls includes all the rest are captures at war, right? We under Admiralty salvage right. They salvaging our ass. We the ones that we've been trying to figure out why these motherfuckers doing what they doing.
Man, listen, man. Listen to what he's saying. That man said they salvaging our ass. Why you think you got a number? A social security number. What is a security? We looking at it when we say social security, we thinking that, oh, they're just trying to secure our social. No, motherfucker. A security is a that we think financial. All of it is that. Like straight up, bro. But we born dead at sea. You don't have a nationality, man. It like think about what he's saying with the African American shit. Like if anything, I tell a motherfucker I'm American. I don't like that African American shit. I'm other. I'm American. Period. You see what I'm saying? Go for that black shit. This is my nationality. 3/5 of a man, you ain't got that. Hell, you ain't even got a God, according to them. I ain't gonna say them, but according to that phrase, that how they describe us in law and constitution and things of that nature, that they won't change it. But they're cool. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. We dig into this shit. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just like, I'm throwing this shit out here because I've made up my own opinion. So I'm throwing things out there. However, think about something. Think about this. Think about what he's saying. Let it resonate. Don't just deny it and say, oh man, he talking crazy. Because it may be some truth in here. I ain't saying hang your head on everything, on everything anybody say. But don't put yourself in the position to where you're neglecting everything somebody say. That's a bad, bad habit. Because you never know where truth can come from. The movie, they cloned Tyrone. Truth came from the wine, though. If you just listen to him throughout the movie, everything he gave you was a jewel. But that's where we're neglected from. We're neglected when it comes from the lowest of us, and respected when it comes from the highest of us. That's dangerous.
Because we've been at perpetual war and they are occupying force. So if y'all remember, when the Bushes made their coup attempt in the Middle East by ousting Saddam Hussein and seizing Afghanistan, right, and Iraq, what did they do? They gave all of the contracts to rebuild Afghanistan and to rebuild Iraq to a company called Halliburton. And Dick Cheney was a board member of Halliburton, the vice president. Not only that, they gave all of the pipeline contracts to run and reroute pipelines and rebuild and restore pipelines also to Halliburton. So now they got the contract to rebuild infrastructure of two countries, Iraq and Afghanistan. They get the contracts to route the oil pipelines and to cap the oil wells that was spewing oil up into the sky. Now, we didn't remember this until I bring it up, and then the elders be like, he sure do remember, that sure did happen. And then they could tell y'all, Muhammad Karzai was selected by the CIA to replace or to become the head of the government, the interim government in Afghanistan. This is exactly how the United States Corporation was those three corporations merged together to form a super corporation to administer an interim government called the United States. So the Virginia Trading Company and the Northwest Trading Company, they merged together, and then they signed something called a Treaty of Peace and Friendship, a peace document, because they was always at odds with the Royal Moroccan Company. The Royal Moroccan Company became known in the history books as simply Morocco. But the Royal Moroccan Company is who Tipper Tib, the largest slave trader in African history, worked for. They was all what you call Ottomans, Bedouin Arabs that came out of the Middle East, and they are all nomads. This is why in the scriptures it tell you that they didn't have a homeland, because they wasn't native to nowhere on the planet, right? If you're not native to the planet, you artificial. What Bobby Hemmett called them, human artificial. He said they came in at the beginning because we've been fighting the artificials ever since we've been here. Then when you fast forward up to today and you realize we in the middle of a conjure war, and the conjure war was the only work if they can keep us in a state of ignorance. And that's what the Masonic Lodge say, fiat lux, let there be light. Let my brothers see as I see, because I am my brother's keeper, right? So this why we not going hard on Roland, because we believe he's sincere. We just believe he haven't seen the receipts and he been lied to, and that if he go talk to the chief, that's the authorized war chief of the land, he can get to see the receipts that we have, right? One of the chiefs have in their possession with his own, I'm talking about historical documents that's been in her family. He can see them and touch them with his own eyes and hands and know this is a real, actual document, a real government document.
See, that's the important part, y'all. Like, we gotta have factual evidence. You see what I'm saying? And it don't have to be all of us. Like, 'cause when you start really understanding how this shit goes, once the claim is made, it's an avalanche from there. It's an avalanche from there. It solidifies everybody's claim. See, we want the easy route out, though. Don't nobody want to put in the work. See, it's work to be done. We talking about, man, let's work. When we say let's work, what we work? What's your work? What you doing? Just because you don't see certain people doing things, that don't mean they ain't doing nothing. There's a lot of people working behind the scenes. You have no clue on what they do. But they out here working. You see what I'm saying? Fiat lux. Let there be light. Come from behind them walls and let your light shine for the world to see. That's the instruction that I got. You see what I'm saying? Like, straight up. You done got the sign. You done heard the alarm. It's time to move. But be tolerant. Give your people the benefit of the doubt, though. You see what I'm saying? Can't just keep on bashing. You gotta go. It's time to work. And that's the name of the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, we get it twisted. Like, everybody needs to be out here trying to educate themselves. Everybody need to get out of their box. You see what I'm saying? Get out of that. Think outside of that. Be open to new ideas. Be very open to new ideas, especially like what Roy is saying right here, because this is very educational. Like, you can pull up receipts on this just by Googling. Seriously speaking. When he put together them two companies and why they had to come together, and it was first the two companies that came together because they had issue with these folk, then they combined, and now we got the Corporation of the United States of America. If you look at the history and you able to put this story with this story, yeah, I'm telling you, shit real. I'm not telling you to accept it. I'm just telling you to think.
Right? So that's why we want to convince him to go and look at her receipts. Because when he come back, he can tell the unapologetically African motherfucker, it's your turn now. She right. But you need to see it for yourself so that when you change your mind, you don't have to feel bad that you was lied to. You can just come to the realization of the truth. Because even though you unapologetically African and you a descendant of Frederick Douglass, who was native, and you say you were a descendant of Nat Turner, they listed him as a native too. So you don't even know who you is in truth. Or maybe we not pretending. Maybe we know what we talking about. And maybe we been here so long, wasn't no here before we came, because we had to build this motherfucker from the ground up. See, only by knowing who the elders on the land can you send people to the right place to get the right information to the right people to bring us all back together. See, they want to bring this unity. See, I'm past all that. I could just, my thing, fuck them. But the elders said, no, we had to go through a process of refining information and explaining to the ones who believe that they telling the truth, that's been misled through their collegiate studies, because they teach this bullshit in college as the facts. But they colleges is designed to keep them in control by making our people work for them. And the only way we can get our people back is to show them the historical documents, the pictures of your uncles and your aunties and your grandparents that's on this document.
Boy, he preaching now, y'all. I told y'all it's all about it. Look, he preaching. He just confirming what I said earlier. That's the way. I got pictures. I can show you pictures of my people, man, and you be like, man, yeah, man, y'all put some feathers on their head. Shit. Like, straight up. Like, bro, this shit, man, this shit gangster, boy.
Right? You show, this is a whole nother level of education that you can't get in no school. This is why she been doing what she doing the way she been doing it, because it's like my brother in Flint. Rod been keeping his family's fight going. That's been keeping the paper trail back to the beginning. That's showing you they always been trying to wrestle us out of our own shit by making us look dumb to others, but we know what the fuck we be talking about. Right? So now we ain't sharecroppers who don't know the Queen's English no more, or the King's English.
Facts. Ooh. I just watched, if you haven't watched this movie, The Black Klansman, boy, y'all need to go watch that movie. That's a good movie. It's funny too. I like how they set it up, but it gives you an understanding as far as the small percentage that want to keep their bullshit going on. But it was a statement that he made, and the chief was like, cause the black dude wanted to investigate the KKK, right? So he bring it to the chief, and the chief like, when he's explaining it to the chief, he tells him like, I'm going to be the guy over the phone setting everything up. I just need another officer, white officer, to infiltrate. And he was like, the chief was like, well, they're going to know it's you. Well, or they're going to know it's a difference when they meet the white guy. And, you know, the black dude was like, why you say that? Like, cuz Negroes talk different, you know, black people talk, he didn't say Negro, he said black people talk different than white people. He said, and he was like, the black dude came back and he was like, man, I know how to talk jive and I know how to talk the King's English. And it's, when you're looking at movies, when you listen to what they saying, because I caught it when he said it in the movie, it's just a coincidence that I watched the movie yesterday evening. Now I'm doing this show on Roy Hayes, and Roy Hayes is talking about the King's English. The King's English is understanding how this language that we use is actually set up. It's technology. You have to understand the different terms of words, because we'll say one sentence and a lawyer is able to pick you apart in court because that one sentence that you said, you use two words that have two totally different meanings. So now you're thinking like, no sir, I ain't do that, man. I went to the store and now he take that and you're saying it in a way that you're not guilty, but he gonna take what you say and imply is you are guilty because of the way you said it and the words you use. That's the same thing in contracts. You got to know the terminology of the word. That's why they're written up. And when a lot of people read a contract, it seems to them like, shit, this shit written in Chinese. They wrote this in Chinese. I can't understand it. Even though they're using English words, but they're using big words and words that are legalese. So they can't be used as 2 or 3 different definition words. You see what I'm saying? It's all it's all one big mind fuck for real. So you have to educate yourself. You need to know these things. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to talk jive. Yeah, it is. I like to talk jive. But I also know the King's English. You see what I'm saying?
Right? We not them. We not the ones that spoke those native tongues that didn't understand how to read a lie in your language. We know your language now. Some of us are like a walking dictionary, can recite your words and definitions better than you can. And y'all brought them to us. You see, they wanted to make us look like idiots and thought that by keeping us uneducated, that we would never figure out that only way I'm going to get the right education is to educate myself, because I could see all of them teachers as being misled. I'm a kid and I know that. I'm a shorty and know that the teachers is being misled, right? So we want to support anybody who want to support us with the right information. This all we want. If you gonna represent us, talk to the elders that we authorized, not the ones that they told you was an elected official, because that DC shenanigans shit is over with. Take your ass up there talking about being a senator or congressman if you want to. Watch where your ass end up at. That shit is over. That's a dead entity. We killed that shit on July the 6th, 2019. 2 days after the goddamn thing expired, we exercised the blood and the right to reclaim the land, and we didn't get any objections because they thought it was a joke. They thought it was a joke. They thought that when we were saying it back then, it was so few of us claiming our birthright using our old methods of oral tradition. putting it in the public domain, allowing the people the opportunity to agree or disagree by showing them the receipts, right? Now these clowns trying to say we still don't know what we're talking about. So we want to show our people, the ones from the clans that's organic to this land, who we are. No, we don't tell them who they are. They have to determine the truth of who they are on their own. But they are interfering with us, reclaiming what's ours by confusing the pool as to who's speaking. Right? They us, but they speaking for other people. Right? They speaking for people that don't exist. They speaking for African Americans. They don't exist. People in Africa don't even call themselves African. This is what you got to understand. The people from Nigeria call themselves Nigerian, and most of them call themselves by their tribal designation. And then they supplement it with what country they come from. They don't talk about they African. Unless they from South Africa, they say they Boers or they Zulu. But we fall for the shenanigans over here because Jesse Jackson said we was African Americans and took a big brown paper bag full of money for teaching us to accept that as the truth. And he knew it was a lie when he told it.
Boy, he ain't lying, boy. Hey, man, like, this shit here crazy, boy. Like, my man, this is my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm just telling you to think. Because listen here, boy. But we fell for an okie doke, boy. Like, boy, we fell for the banana in the tailpipe. And I ain't mad at it. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just how things supposed to go. We better forward. Now we just got to act on this shit, man. We got to act on it. As in my personal opinion, we have, I don't know, man. We just got to act on it, bro. Like, Rod is dropping jewels, man. If you done made it this far, man, hit the like button, subscribe, bro. Like, bro, hey, the work is being put in, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's work.
That's why his old crippled ass sitting in that wheelchair suffering. Because you ain't getting out of here without paying for your dirt. Just like when he was part of the Martin Luther King assassination setup and left that motherfucker with a big brown paper bag full of money. It all came out. This ain't no shit that ain't already in the public domain. This is not even a secret. Tricked his brother to do a deal on the restaurant business with the Blackstones and then got caught with some other shit and sold his own brother out. So what the fuck you think he gonna do for us? Right? No, he was actually he was a sellout. He wasn't one of them. He was one of us working for them. Right? So he thought that the money would save him. What good is it doing his ass now? He even said it. It's actually a book. It's all about the money by him and his son. Right? It's actually a really good book on money matters. But the thing is, he believed that the more money he had, the more impervious he was to the wrath of God. Like God didn't see what he was doing when he was selling out Martin. When he was making deals to mislead his people by calling us African American, making it into a public declaration in order to murky the waters of the organic tribes that was coming back for every motherfucking thing they owe.
Boy, I can't lie, bro. It murked the waters, boy. It made it murky. It made it hard to differentiate. Boy. Boy, if I had a bomb button that I could hit right now to explode, I hit that bit like, bro, like straight up. That was one of them statements right there. Because you got to think, like, why did these terms come about? These designations that we have as a people, like, you know, it changed. Like, we the only people on the face of the earth that the way they describe us changes from this to this. Like, we went from being indigenous people to the land, niggas, like, meaning kings and things of that nature, to that being turned to the derogatory and calling us niggas. Then our classification goes from being colored to Negro to African American to black. Like, we, all four of those things we've been called as far as official classifications. Why does it have to keep on changing? You see what I'm saying? Anytime I gotta keep on changing some shit, I'm trying to trick your ass out of not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? Like, think about that shit. Like, we the only people that had to go through that. Koreans always been Koreans. Chinese folk always been Chinese folk. I'm just keeping a Mexican is a Mexican. Always had, as far as I've been knowing, but in a short period of time, we done went through, I'm talking about, when I say short period, I'm talking about short period of time. We done went through 4 different classifications as a people. Remember who you are. It ain't on them to tell us. Like, if you're sitting down waiting on them folk to tell you, like, yeah, Keith, you are indigenous to this land. They ain't finna tell you that. In what game have you watched that motherfuckers don't compete to the end? And if you got skin in the game, you gonna cheat, you gonna scratch eyes, you gonna do whatever it takes to win. Period. They're not coming out here and telling you what the deal is. It's not gonna happen. But they can't stop the information from coming out, because what has to happen is gonna happen. This shit is preordained. The longer y'all motherfucker put this shit off and keep being caught up by this entertainment world that they done trapped you in, this material world, they done made it real sweet. You gotta think, man, they keep on coming up with the same shit over and over and over again. They and we get caught up in it. Cause that's your prison now. And you like it. But the moment we can I ain't telling you to just dismiss it all together. We gotta have some type of outlet. But the moment we can stop living in that world and get back to the real world, as far as where we at right now, the quicker we can take off and get where we want to be at. But the problem is, we like the bullshit.
Farrakhan warned us about him, but because he was blood tied to the land, he got to get an opportunity to bump straight. So they secured him during the presidential election. And what'd he do? Crossed him out. The same with Al Sharpton, federal informant, and Al Sampson, a federal informant. All these motherfuckers working for the government as part of their federal FBI, what was the name of it? Informant program. It was an official program. Most of the people that they hired was the preachers, the aldermen, and stuff like that to work for them and to push their agendas in order to mislead the people. Right? Motherfuckers. So now this is where we find out who with us and who against us. Anybody out there calling us African Americans that haven't been the chief war horse to look at the receipts and the track record, you know you won't be able to trust them. So now we're going to start with Roland Martin, and we're going to put his ass on notice first so that he can go back and get a fair warning to the rest of them that's out there preaching this foolishness, trying to go along with a divide and conquer narrative that's preventing us from seizing the final grasp of power to our own shit that's already ours. And they interfering with the original people who own this shit, getting their shit back by misleading the last few people that need to be aware. Hey, wake up. We here to get your shit for you. But we can't get your shit for you unless you realize that you got some shit coming. Reparations is a distraction. I'm telling you now, the whole purpose of reparations, if you accept reparations, you forego your birthright to the land over here. So unless you know you from over there in Africa, don't take no reparations. Now, I don't care if you came from Africa last week and they offer reparations. Take that shit. Get much.
Hey, he's speaking truth right there. Like, they throwing so many different, like if you own a business, right? And you know you've been in business you ain't got to be in business for a minute. Man, they throwing so many different things at you to try to get you in some type of contractual agreement with them. Like, I don't know what's up with that. Like, they throwing contracts out left and right. Like, man, do you need this? Do you need this? Hey, we can do this for you. We can do this for you. And it's like, now I ain't talking about no actual, like business contracts. I'm talking about like lenders that's trying to lure you in. Like, never before. Never heard of. I'm a young black entrepreneur and I'm getting all these opportunities to just these folks that are trying to give me money. You see what I'm saying? But I ain't taking none of it. Because I feel like it's debate. Like, when you agree contractually that you part of the system to this degree, you got to honor that contract. You see what I'm saying? So now in my head, like, I'm not really trying to do anything on a contractual basis that says I am part of this, that I'm in agreement with. You see what I'm saying? Because truth being told, it's like, no. Even trick me and put interest on my money and things, that ain't right. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just not really cool. You see what I'm saying? That's some street shit, like, straight up. If I loan you some money, if I give you $20, I don't want 20 back. You got to give me 30 back. Like, what? Bro, I got $20 from you. You see what I'm saying? But for some reason, the banks can do it. And loan sharks can show enough do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make no sense. So I ain't really trying to be part of it. But I think all of that is like what Rod's saying right now. It's a distraction. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you can't sense like we on the verge of something going on, I don't know. I don't think you really paying attention. You got to pay attention out here because, like, bro, the world we living in right now, the whole world done changed right in front of your eyes. And a lot of us so caught up in our ego and our individualism that we just can't see it.
As you can. But if you organic to this land, it's a trap. If you try to use their system to file paperwork with their system to get outside of their system, that's a trap. It's designed for you to petition them to give you your freedom as opposed to you just walking off and abandon the contract because of fraud, because they was lying the whole time. Right? So, where I'm gonna do a Q&A when I finish this. I'm gonna exit out of this one and then I'm gonna come back on, but I wanted to finish this public service announcement. Now remember, this is not about attacking nobody. This is about educating the people with right knowledge. When you armed with the truth, you can defend yourself against all of the lies. But if you got one lie weaved in your truth, it's going to make your whole shit come apart. So you have to go where the information is tangible, right? Where you can see a person that's got 50 years or so in fighting for the people with the paperwork and the track record to show. And this is why I had to find Chief Warhorse, which I've been found her, and I've been showed her to my mama before she left, but Chief Warhorse didn't know it till recently. But because I had to wait until I was in the position for her to reach back and contact me so that we could have a two-way communication. The same with the Goddess Glow Up. So I was supposed to do a video with the Goddess Glow Up, but Big Mama had already told me, no, you finna sit down, she need to rest. And then she called me right before it was time to go live and say, I can't do it now, I need to rest. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I kept it moving. Only reason why I'm able to be here today is because Chief Warhorse requested, because of the obstacle in front of us right now, is there's still a few lingering brothers that need to be brought to the self-awareness and the deception. And so when she put it all together and she show you what's going on, then there's no excuse for you to tell the lies to the people. This how you make people expose themselves. You expose who you is by not doing everything you can to give your people the right information. The African American thing was made up. We wasn't calling ourselves African American before, motherfucker, was it 82, 83? Jesse Jackson started calling us African Americans. When we was black, we understood we was at war. When we wasn't black no more, it would confuse the war effort. Because all of the chiefs from those warring priest clans knew that when they was calling us black, they speaking about the protection stone, the onyx stone. But the next generation confused because of this African American shit when Africa wasn't even called Africa before they divided it up on the Berlin Conference. You got several different renditions of pre-African maps where at one point it was the Sudan all the way across that motherfucker. And another time it was Ethiops, which was all the way across it, which is a tribute to Enki, who they call Old Man Africa. If you can read about him in Isis Unveiled. But Old Man Africa was Enki. And he is the father of those giant tribes over there, the Dinka, the Masai Mara, those tall motherfuckers. Those are his children, the Zulu. The Zulu was what he called his courtside seed. That's why they call Zulu. Zulu means Skywalker. The Mirror clan over here, they call them Crips. But in the old culture, they was called Hopi. The Crips is the mirror, the blue clan mirror to the red clan of Shaka Zulu, the Zulu. The red mirror is called the Peace Stones because they the law on the land. And the mirror to Shaka Zulu is Chief Malik Angel Bay, a.k.a. Jeff Ford. He was the mirror to that because he was the rook of the land, the lawman. Like the U.S. Marshal is in his seat, in his place in the interim government. And his investigative wing was supposed to be in the Justice Department. All that was usurped by the interim government that confused who we are. We know who they is, what they did, how they done it, when they done it. We got all of the receipts to prove it. We know who they switched out in the history books. We know who they lied on their skin colors and all of that. That's not a secret no more because we was able to find documentation concurrent with the times that gave us these people's actual description, birthplaces and everything. How the fuck is George Washington born in 3 different places? Make that shit make sense. Right? So, we not falling for the okie doke. So from here forward, wherever y'all see somebody that's trying to tell the people that they African Americans or that they looking for reparations, you're not looking for reparations. You just looking to restore the land back to the clans. And we always been rich. That's nothing new. But we was in what's called a warlock. And when you locked in warfare, even especially conjure magic, you have to do nefarious shit to get money, because you're not allowed to generate money in war at the same time, or you would never get out of warfare. That's to deplete your resources to the point where you can't even participate no more. Right? So, the Bible is a contract, people. It got some good information in it. It tell you, it got the art of war in it. It got the art of romance in it. It's not a history book, because the history not accurate. It's not to tell you who nobody is, because that ain't got nothing to do with us over here. When you got to look back, they keep bringing up the fact that you got biblically named cities over here. All that shit just got named that. That's not no ancient name for none of them cities. If anything in the Bible has nothing to do with the tribes of the Americas, all that is some family shit from the Middle East, Babylonian blood magic, Babylonian money magic, and Babylonian sex magic. It's also have the rites of passage for the Babylonian king's list offspring, right? But it's all coded, and if you don't know the code, it's gonna mislead you and get you stuck to the right to become overly righteous, where you won't be able to see the truth. And you'll be a stepping pad for a motherfucker. They can just walk over you and do whatever they want to do, right? So no, we don't need that. So all these people, if you want to participate and continue to do business on this land, if you want to do business on this land, you have to abide by the law of the land. We're not under admiralty jurisdiction and maritime law any longer. We under the law of the land now. And the law of the land say that when the chief call for you, you do your due diligence to make your presence known to the presence of the chief. Because we don't be calling for motherfuckers. Because we don't want to talk to you motherfuckers no way. We just want peace. But duty overrides desire for self. You duty bound to talk to the people on the land and make sure everybody know what we doing over here. Don't get in our way. We don't mean you no harm, but if you get in our way, you mean us harm. Now we got to treat you like the enemy you trying to pretend to be when you really ain't the enemy. Right? So all this biblical shit, we ain't no Hebrews. According to them, the only place we called in the Bible was Edomites, because it means ruddy red Mississippi clay dirt. That's the only thing that's similar to anything got to do with us over here. Ruddy red Mississippi clay dirt. This color. That's what it is. I don't know what these motherfuckers talking. Right? The Mississippi is the Nile. No, the Nile is the Nile. The Mississippi is the Mississippi. The only thing is that the Nile was made to mirror the Mississippi on the flip by Tahuti himself, who left from over here to go build that shit. That's all. The shit isn't I mean, it got magical properties, but until the magic of the self is realized, you can't see the magical properties that's really attached to any of these structures. They just look like scientific and mathematical wonders.
All right, good people. I'm going to close out on duty is duty. Duty outweighs personal desire. Point blank, period. a lot of us know what it is that we should be doing, but we still refuse to do it because of our personal needs and our personal wants. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. However, we past that now. When you get called upon to do the work, do the work. See what I'm saying? Like, it happens. And I'm preaching to the choir right now while I'm making this video. I'm being honest with you. I'm preaching to the choir because I'm preaching to myself. Like, when duty's called, duty calls, you got to go put in the work. And this here is part of my work. You know what I'm saying? It's part of my work. With that being said, man, if you made it this far, hit the subscription button, man. Hit the like button, man. The like button helps out this video for the algorithm and to get this information out to more and more people. You feel what I'm saying? And again, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. You know what I mean? Without y'all, there is no me. With that being said, y'all continue to be safe, productive, and blessed. This is the Daniel Diagnosis. I am your host, Keith Daniel. Till next time, good people. Peace.